you to downtown Rochester and the Blue Cross Arena at the War Memorial, home to the AHL's Rochester Americans, and tonight to the area's only Division I hockey program. The RIT faithful have made their way to the big house for Brick City homecoming and family weekend as the Tigers get set to take on Union. Number 21 for RIT is Carter Wilkie, the Calgary native, of course helping RIT 1 week ago, leading them to a victory. Tigers, he's leading them in scoring a year ago and helped RIT complete a sweep of Army last Saturday night with a goal and an assist. Good evening, I'm Kevin Roach and welcome to Pregame Live. Well, the Tigers opened conference play last weekend against Army in impressive fashion, picking up a pair of victories and 6 big points in the conference standings after sweeping the Black Knights. Let's show you what happened at the Policini last week. First period, Tigers jumped on the Black Knights early, less than 4 minutes in. Watch the nice feed here from Andrew Petrucci to Jojo Casaro, who scores his first of the season. Tigers had the early 1-0 lead after an Army interference penalty. RIT on the power play. Tigers going to be denied initially, but the puck comes to Carter Wilkie, and watch Wilkie with the patience, and it pays off as he finds the opening and gets the goal right there. His first of the season, a Tiger power play goal, had RIT in front 2-0, but after a tripping penalty on Wilkie with just over 3 minutes remaining, Army on the man up, and they cash in right here as John Karanen tips it over the glove of Colby Matthews, and just like that, we had a 1-goal game. Third period, still a 1-goal game. Carter Wilkie the shot, Grady Hobbs puts in the rebound, 3-1. Tigers. Then final moments, Army with the empty net, and Aiden Hansen-Bukata seals it for RIT as the Tigers sweep Army with a 4-1 victory last Saturday night. As we look inside the numbers, RIT outshot Army 35-28. Grady Hobbs had a goal and an assist for RIT to record his second career multi-point game. Colby Matthews stopped 27 in the net, including 12 in the second period, but the most glaring stat of all, oh, you see it right there. These two teams combining for 23 penalties and 84 penalty minutes. The game took 10 hours, but we finally got out of the Policini last Saturday night, and we are here with you tonight. That was last week. It was the only conference game going on in Atlantic hockey, so the Tigers got a chance to enjoy sitting alone atop the conference standings, but they have company now as we take a look. The Tigers joined by Sacred Heart, who completed a 2-game sweep of Holy Cross with a 5-1 victory last night. AIC, the defending regular season and tournament champions in the league, they look to join the Pioneers and Tigers with a victory over Niagara. Tonight they are underway out in Niagara. Now the Tigers will return to conference play on Thursday when they begin a 2-game series out in Colorado Springs against the Air Force Academy, but tonight it's all about Union, and of course we know what happened just 14 days ago. The Dutchmen scored 3 unanswered goals to steal a season-opening victory over the Tigers. With more on tonight's rematch, our John DeTulio standing by live now with RIT head coach Wayne Wilson. Good evening, John.
All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Wayne, okay, here it is. Brick City homecoming. This game is always very, very special, is it not?
Yeah, over the years, it just it grew and grew, and we got away from it a little bit 2 years ago where it was canceled, and last year a great crowd, even though it wasn't really alumni back. So we're expecting a big crowd. Our guys really look forward to it, and we've got to put our best foot forward again.
What do you take away from your first matchup you played against them just a few weeks ago? What can you apply tonight?
I'd like to play the way we did in the first period against them. The second period, we took too many penalties and allowed them to kind of get themselves back in the game, or at least feeling good about themselves. And then they really try to clog up the neutral zone and really try to create a lot of turnovers on our part. Our big thing tonight is getting the pucks behind their defense, get on our forecheck, getting pucks and people to the net, and try and create some offense from that.
The amount of penalties your team has taken, is that a concern, or you just write that off? It's early in the year.
No, it's a concern. I mean, we've got to fix that. It's on us to do better than that, and we're very aware of it. And we just got to, you see how the refs are calling the game and what type of penalties are, but it's on us to stay out of the box, two teams playing out every night, so we're taking more than the opposition. That's all I need to know.
What is the message? 0-7-1 against Union at the D1 level. What was the message to your team coming out of the dressing room?
Never really looked at the big picture, more so that redemption from our first game, I guess, more than anything else, and really see where we are compared to when we played them the first time. Where are we as a team? They're certainly going to evaluate themselves. I think it's going to be a great hockey game, and we're looking forward to it.
I'm very excited to be here tonight. You know that, buddy.
I can see that in the look of your eye, but hey, you got to see the game today. That's a bonus. But you are a little cranky.
My wife didn't want me at home. I needed to work tonight. You know that, buddy.
Yeah, well, we'll take your mind off it tonight. We'll get some excitement back into it.
You're the best. That's head coach Wayne Wilson. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Johnny, we look forward to talking to you in just a little bit. Well, as we mentioned earlier, these two teams met in Schenectady just 2 weeks ago, and this is how it ended. Union scoring 3 unanswered goals, including what proved to be the game winner right here as freshman Carter Corpy scored with just 1:33 remaining. Earlier this week, we caught up with Union head coach Josh Hauge, who admits his team was fortunate to win the first meeting, but knows they'll need to be better tonight to complete the season sweep.
I think that we have to manage the puck. I thought we gave up too many opportunities with turnovers. We want to play a game where we're possessing the puck, and I thought we were a little wild with it. Also, just like we got to get back because RIT is extremely dangerous off the rush, and they can make plays, and just that we have a relentless group too. I thought we didn't quit when we were down 2-0 and 3-1. So hopefully we can keep that up. With the amount of people that are going to be in the building and the energy in the building, if we get in a game where it's back and forth, up and down the sheet, I don't think that favors us. If we're possessing the puck and managing it well, I think that'll be to our advantage.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here tonight. Tonight marks the 9th all-time meeting between these two programs. As John mentioned, it's a series that has been dominated by the Dutchmen as they boast an impressive 7-0-1 mark against the Tigers, including 5 straight victories in which Union has outscored RIT 27-8. In the net for RIT tonight will be number 30, Tommy Scarfoni. The Montreal native will make his 3rd start of the season this evening. Scarfoni is 1-1 this year with a 3.03 goals against average. On the other side, first-year head coach Josh Hauge will go with number 31, Connor Murphy, who faced the Tigers just 2 weeks ago. Murphy is 2-1-1 on this season with a 2.36 goals against average. Well, still to come on Pregame Live, the RIT women's hockey team was on the road to face a top 10 nationally ranked program this afternoon. We'll show you how they fared earlier today. Plus, he's traded in his orange for maroon and now for green. Our conversation with former RIT goaltender and newly inducted RIT Athletics Hall of Famer Jared DeMichael is on the way. But first, number 23 for RIT is defenseman Aiden Hansen-Bukata. The British Columbia native is the reigning Atlantic Hockey Defensive Player of the Week. He'll join our Susie Cool live next as our coverage of Tiger hockey rolls on from downtown Rochester at the Blue Cross Arena. It's RIT and Union at 7:05. This is Pregame Live. From downtown Rochester, the Jenny Brew House, Eastman, the High Falls area, some great areas around town as we welcome you back to Pregame Live from the Blue Cross Arena in downtown Rochester. RIT hosting Union for Brick City homecoming. The Tigers have won their last 3 Brick City games and have gone unbeaten in their last 6 homecoming games. We'll see what happens here tonight on the Atlantic Hockey scoreboard this afternoon. Air Force victorious over Lindenwood. Final there 5-3. Things have escalated quickly. Bentley up 4-1. That one in the 3rd period now over Maine. Maine. AIC trying to sweep Niagara and join Sacred Heart and RIT at the top of the Atlantic Hockey Conference standings. If they get the victory here tonight, 3-1 right now in the second period, they would join RIT and Sacred Heart. And the Canisius Ferris State Army RPI, they get started at the top of the hour, just like we do. Well, this time of year, the Blue Cross Arena is Susie Kuhl's home as the digital host of Rochester Americans hockey. But tonight, she has joined our team for some college hockey. Susie standing by ringside now with RIT defenseman Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Good evening, Susie.
Good evening, Kevin. Thank you so much. Aiden, you were awarded the Atlantic Hockey Defensive Player of the Week last week. What was the most critical component of your game last weekend to help lift you to that honor?
I think it was just about being simple. Just making that first pass, and luckily I was able to capitalize on some chances, and made it count.
Despite the loss to Union last time out against them in opening night, you totaled a team-high 2 goals, 3 points. How'd you navigate their defensive structure to find offensive success?
Yeah, they're a really good team. They're dynamic, they're quick, they're fast. We learned that the first time we played them, and we learned from that, and hopefully we can come out with a better result this week.
A big theme with this team this season, 27 penalties through 3 games. What's the biggest focal point to try and limit those shorthanded chances for you guys?
Stay out of the box.
Nice and simple. Last but not least, it's the Brick City matchup. You look forward to this every single year?
Absolutely. This is my second time, obviously COVID my freshman year, but I'm super excited to play in front of a big crowd tonight.
Thanks so much, Aiden.
Thank you.
Kevin?
All right, Susie, thank you so much. We'll check back with you throughout the broadcast here tonight. Well, for the third time this season, the RIT women's hockey team faced off with a nationally ranked opponent. The Tigers on the road down in Hamilton, New York, taking on 6th-ranked Colgate. And we have the highlights for you. RIT dropped the first game of this series last night, trying to earn a split today. It did not get off to a good start. First period just 30 seconds in. Colgate jumps on the Tigers. Maggie McErchin scores just like that. The Raiders up 1-0. We got to get some light activity like that at the Policini. We got to look into that. Under a minute to play in the period. Tigers trying to stay within striking distance, but Colgate's Alyssa Biederman scores 3-0 Raiders after 1. Second period, they added on to it. The lead continues to grow. Caitlin O'Donohoe, the blast from just inside the blue line. Colgate showing why they're the 6th-ranked team in the nation. They beat RIT again today by a final of 5-0. The women's hockey team is at RPI next weekend. The Tigers' next home game comes up on Saturday, October 29th, when they host defending CHA champion Syracuse. Our coverage of RIT women's hockey on the 29th begins at 7 o'clock with pregame live, followed by face-off between the Tigers and the Orange. That comes up at 7:30 right here on Flow Hockey. Men's soccer this afternoon at Doug May Field on the RIT campus. The Tigers honored their seniors prior to today's match with Skidmore. Second half, 55th minute. The Tigers get on the board first as senior Randy Dickersbach scores his 4th goal of the season, and the Tigers had a 1-0 lead. It would stay that way until the 78th minute when RIT would strike again. Gabriel Zanetti recording his first collegiate goal at the Institute. Tigers get a big win on homecoming as they beat Skidmore by a final of 2-0. On the RIT Athletics scoreboard, the RIT women's soccer team improving to 9-2-2 on the year. After a 2-0 victory at Skidmore, Sam Halligan scoring both goals for Liz Masterson's squad this afternoon. Hey, just a reminder that you can stay connected to all your favorite teams, all your RIT Tiger teams on the RIT Athletics app. You can find scores, highlights, live streams, player features, and so much more. The RIT Athletics app is a must-have for all Tiger fans. Download it today for your Apple or Android device. So still to come here tonight, John and Jean join us to share who they think we should be keeping an eye on. Plus, he's a Hall of Famer now. Our conversation with former RIT goaltender Jared DeMichael is next on your home for Tiger Hockey. This is Pregame Live.
QR code or visit RITathletics.com.
In orange for Brick City. We can tell you, though, their home whites have finally arrived. We'll see those at the Policini in a few weeks as we welcome you back inside the Blue Cross Arena in downtown Rochester, where you're watching Pregame Live, presented by Taylor the Builders.
Willie Brinkman and the
Jared DeMichael credits Wayne Wilson for inspiring him to become a coach. And so far, DeMichael's coaching resume is pretty impressive. Tiger fans remember DeMichael fondly for helping guide the Tigers to that miracle ride to the Motor City back in 2010. Today, the former Tiger great returned to town, and as he and others got the call to the Hall.
Cinderella story of the tournament so far.
Jared DeMichael and his 2010 teammates will forever be linked to this monumental moment.
They're going dancing to the Frozen Four in Detroit.
It's obviously very, very hard to accomplish, but I think our group, the character is really what kind of stands out. And said this before too, but just proving people wrong. There's nothing better in life than doing that, and that group definitely had that kind of it factor.
While DeMichael's professional hockey days were short-lived, he's remained in the sport as a coach. DeMichael spent the last 6 seasons as an assistant head coach at UMass, where he helped guide the Minutemen to 2 Frozen Fours and the 2021 National Championship.
It was definitely euphoric, to say the least, and the year that we won it was the year of COVID, so just a lot of extra hoops to jump through, to say the least. But our guys were fully committed. I think our character, again, is kind of what got us to where we wanted things to be. And sometimes, I think our good friend Dan Ringwald said, sometimes it takes some losing to learn how to win. And like you said, 3 times the charm, but to finally get that was awesome.
But this past summer, DeMichael decided to make a change, jumping at an opportunity in the Big Ten at Michigan State.
The history and tradition of Michigan State, second to none. But I think at some point, the goal is to be a head coach, and I think it was a chance to kind of broaden the horizons, learn and grow. And I don't pretend to be a perfect coach. I know I'm far from perfect, and I want to learn and grow and get better. And also know the history there of Michigan State, and they're starving for it to be one of the top programs, and going to do everything we can to get it to the top.
12 years after graduating from RIT, DeMichael is back in Rochester this weekend, joining fellow Tiger greats as an inductee into the RIT Athletics Hall of Fame.
I think about RIT on a daily basis, and I know I wouldn't be standing here today and have the position that I have coaching at Michigan State if it wasn't for RIT and the experiences that I had. And I think too often people only talk about the successes, but I think having to learn from my mistakes, having to go through some failures, it made me stronger, made me a little bit more thick-skinned. It helped me grow as a person, and very, very thankful of everything that RIT was given to me in my time at RIT, but also after RIT. The relationships is definitely the biggest thing. It's a very, very special place.
Yeah, special place for DeMichael and his family. He said he needs to talk to Coach Wilson, but he'd love it if Michigan State is able to make the trip for a future Brick City game. RIT honored both the class of 2022 and 2021 at the ceremony this morning. Joining DeMichael in the class of 22 are Quinn Donahoe from men's swimming and diving, Josh Molinari from men's lacrosse, Alyssa Park from women's hockey, and longtime radio play-by-play voice of the Tigers, Ed Trevsker, all inducted today. Congratulations to them. A sea of orange has descended on downtown Rochester for the marquee event of Brick City Homecoming and Family Weekend. And of course, happy to be joined as always by the guys who will have the call for you again tonight, Gene Battaglia and John DiTullio. RIT looking to avenge their season opening loss at Union just 2 weeks ago, guys.
Hey, Kevin, it's so fun when we're downtown, John. When I tell people that when you make a list of top sporting events annually in our town, this is right at the top.
We've called games at Ritter. We've called games for many years at the Policini Center. Nothing quite beats this game tonight. Many games you need a shoehorn to get everybody in here. It's going to be a sea of orange, and it's always entertaining.
Tigers got the job done against Army, John. It was some ugly hockey in the second night, but a win's a win.
Just finding ways to win, finding ways to finish. I think that's been the key. That was the key last week. A lot of mistakes. You got to clean those up, as Wayne told me just a few minutes ago. But overall, this is a good team that's only going to get better as the season unfolds.
As for Union tonight, we know they have talent. They got the Tigers in the end tonight, and our player to watch, Carter Corpy. You saw the highlight earlier, John, the game-winning goal with the $1:30 left.
Just a freshman. He skates very, very well. Talk with Wayne. Great puck handler, and as you mentioned, he had 2 goals versus RIT. Just a really, really solid player.
One of 9 first-year players on this Union team, so they are certainly a team that is going to build here kind of moving up. For the RIT Tigers, this is a player that has been here before. 5th year coming back, only 4 years downtown, but Kobe Walker set up the game winner last year.
Yes, he did. He had the game winner to Will Calverley against St. Lawrence. That proved to be the game winner. 29 career goals. He has 1 goal and 1 assist this year. He wears that C on the sweater for a reason. He's a leader, he's a rock, and they will lean on him for big games like this. No question about it. Keep your eye on number 18.
Yeah, it is a non-conference game, John, but it is something, and the Tigers have won the last 3 downtown.
Looking for number 4 would be, how sweet would it be to finally beat Union at the Division I level, 0-7-1. Unacceptable. Get it done tonight.
All right, as Kevin will have the puck drop coming up here at 7:05. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait, guys. We'll see you in just a bit. The anticipation in this building is building, and we are closing in on game time. We'll wrap things up from here next. This is Pregame Live.
To the Blue Cross Arena at the War Memorial.
Oh, look at that scene. The corner crew and pep band ready to roll here. Back here on Pregame Live from the Blue Cross Arena, downtown Rochester. They're waiting for their Tigers to take the ice. We're expecting a crowd of over 8,200, not including walk-ups. So the Tigers look to win their 4th straight Big City homecoming game. The Tigers visit Air Force on Thursday and Friday, so we are not back with you until Friday, October 28th, when RIT begins a 2-game series with Holy Cross. Our coverage begins 6:30 that night with Pregame Live, followed by face-off between the Tigers and Crusaders at 7:05 right here on Flow Hockey. If you'd like to join us live at some point this season, you can grab your seats now at rittickets.com. Single game seats available for all remaining men's and women's home games, or you can visit or call the Policini Center box office at 475-4121. Well, we have waited for this. We are ready to go. That'll do it for Pregame Live. Thanks so much for watching. Up next, John and Gene have the call, and we'll see you back here on the Intermission Report. RIT versus Union begins right now.